We want to get into this conversation that I told you earlier on. It's about Linda Ground versus Linda Mwananchi. With us, we do have strategic advisor Frederick Okango. Okango ni mwenyeji huku kwenye studio zetu. Fred, good morning and welcome to Radio Generation.
It's a very good Monday morning, and I'm happy to be here once again.
Good.
To engage with your audiences
Right.
and viewers equally.
Right.
Sure.
And also with him is political commentator Brian Weke. Brian, good morning. Welcome to Radio Generation.
Good morning.
Karibu sana.
Tunashukuru.
We were just talking about reduction of, the number of members of parliament, governors. I don't know, Fred. What's your take on that? Having fewer counties.
I have been a proponent of that. If you recall, in my
Punguza
early
Mzigo.
political days, we drafted and promoted a bill called Punguza Mzigo Bill.
Yes.
That in essence was about reducing the number of representation. And by effect of doing that, you reduce the cost on the wage bill.
Right.
But you see, Kenyans also have a right to be represented. So I would say that it is not about the number only, but it's about also managing the finances that comes with the number.
Okay.
The people of Kenya are concerned that there has been mismanagement. The people of Kenya are concerned there has been debt going up. The people of Kenya are concerned their representatives have not been representing them fully as per the requirement of law. And that's why you see in the progress report by the Zani committee, it outlines actually what is happening and what we can do more. With even recommendation, we do believe that in the coming days, the people of Kenya will understand that even in achieving the 2,000 agenda, when I got in, you were talking about the 2,000 agenda. What is the cost implication of achieving 2,000 agenda? It is a constitutional requirement, but what is the cost of achieving constitutional requirements? It's expensive. It's very expensive. But Kenyans gave themselves that requirement in law. Today, it is mandatory that in any elective or appointive public body, there shall not be more than 2/3 of the same gender. That is a principle. How do you achieve that? You achieve that through election, you achieve that through nomination, you achieve that through appointment. But in elective, it will be challenging.
All right.
Because you cannot tell people that I come from Kabondo Kasipul,
Right.
or I come from Westlands constituency, or Langata, and you tell them, now I want you to elect a woman, while there are other suitable and capable men. It is a democratic right for them to choose where they want. However, there are propositions that have been put in place to try and guarantee. And in the Zani report, that is captured under pending constitutional amendments under the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2023 that has outlined the zebra proposal that we can use in future. If Kenyans agree in a referendum, that's what they want, then they can change those provisions of law and allow them to get women or men, for that matter, in regards to 2/3 gender.
All right. Thank you so much. Brian, same question. What are your thoughts on the number of MPs, governors, and senators we have?
I think for me, it's a two-pronged approach. Number one, of course, the number of governors, too many. And number two, many of these governors, actually, we're not seeing that definition of money working. If you audit a number of these counties, you'll find out that the amount that they are being given, whatever goes to development, is very minimal. So for me, if you ask me, I know Okango is afraid to say this. We need to reduce the numbers of these counties.
Yeah.
There are too many. The wage bill is very high. And really, if you look at the recurrent expenditure, is very high.
Okay.
So whatever goes to development is very, very minimal. Like for instance, if you look at where we come from with Okango, even counting development is next to a joke.
The two of you come from the same county?
We come from Homa Bay County.
Absolutely. Different constituencies.
Don't worry about the color.
Oh, don't worry. No, it's not the color.
Don't worry about the Linda.
No. I know where you come from.
Yes.
I also know where he comes from.
Yeah.
It is for the audience. I know where both of you come from.
Yeah.
And I know the challenges that the areas you come from have very, very directly.
Brian was talking about the complexions.
I know what he's talking about, and I'm avoiding, I'm ignoring him completely.
So city, the problem for me is the development. You know, the idea of devolution, we wanted to bring money closer to the people. We wanted to share the cake, the national cake, equally to all counties, and ensure that counties that are still lagging behind, they're also given what is called equalization fund. And really, many of these counties, I'm not seeing serious work happening.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the truth. But anyway, we shall have a different time to talk about this whole devolution issue. Fred, the last time we were here, we were talking about something happening on the 27th of March.
Yes.
Is it still on course? It was was it an NDC or an NEC? Sometimes I'm confused.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Or DCM.
I remember very well.
Yeah.
We are on course.
Right.
The Orange Democratic Movement Party will be going for a national delegates conference on 27th March this year. That delegates conference or convention, if you like, is a special delegates convention that is convened pursuant to the provisions of the political parties, or the party's constitution, Article 49, that allows NEC to make resolutions, and the chair convenes such meeting, and the SG of the party gives the notice to the public. And I'm using this authoritatively because that provision is in law. And in the absence of the SG, the NEC has given the Deputy Secretary General Political Affairs authority, and as far as possible in compliance with the Constitution, to perform the function of the Secretary General. Honorable Catherine Omanyo, who is the Deputy Secretary General, gave that notice today. However, Sifuna, who Weke is lending, is already in court.
Okay.
And the party has obeyed the court, the tribunal decision.
Yes.
Because the tribunal order that was given was to stay the implementation of the resolution to suspend Sifuna as the SG.
Okay.
That is in place. And we believe Sifuna is still a NEC member and is still the SG. However, he cannot do the functions of the SG as it is now because of the legal impediments and the circumstances of politics today. So the harmonization provisions of the ODM party takes place such that in the absence of such a party officer, what follows is that the Deputy Secretary General can perform those functions. So to answer you,
yes,
ODM will have 3,000 delegates attending that national delegates convention, which is a special convention, to ratify the decision on leadership as proposed by NGC. Number two, to take note of the Article 87 of the Constitution of ODM party that demands the party to enter in either pre or post election coalition.
Right.
So I'm giving you this because people have been asking themselves, are we having NDC? Are we having GDC? Are we having DCI? No, we are having an NDC, a special one under 49 of the Article 49 of the party that is called Special Delegates Conference that will be attended by all elected members, parliamentary groups, NEC members, branch officials, and those who don't have the power to vote, they are technical experts of the party, and all other county coordinating officers.
Okay.
That meeting is the supreme organ of the party, and the decisions that will be made in that meeting are binding by all party members.
Okay. Is Linda Mwananchi going to be in that particular meeting?
First of all, it's very unfortunate for Okango, a man I respect, and somebody who's gone to school, and a lawyer for that matter, to come and tell us here that in the absence of the SG,
the deputy
will give notice.
Right.
What do you mean the absence of SG? Is the SG dead?
The last I checked, he's very much alive.
He's very much alive.
Right.
He is a substantive SG. The court, I know he's throwing words like a tribunal. A tribunal is actually a court. It has powers of a court.
Of course.
The court was very clear that Sifuna is actually the substantive Secretary General.
Right.
So basically what is happening, you know these guys, we know the machinations. They've not been spending money from ODM. They're being funded from somewhere.
All right.
And that somewhere is not definitely ODM. So they have given a fee to their master. We even know the amount.
Okay.
So they've decided that this NDC has to
happen
whether legal or otherwise. It does not matter, because clearly that is an illegal NDC, and we are aware where these things were mooted. We are aware where they were planned. We are aware where they are being executed. Even as we speak, they're in the process of changing delegates all over the country.
How do you change delegates?
City.
Yes, Brian.
You see, there are delegates that were elected in the last election, which was done nearly 8 years ago. You know, Okango came to ODM just the other day. He does not understand. This guy was a guy of Punguza Mzigo. So now, what they are doing, they have a list, so they are creating new delegates.
Is there a list of the delegates who were elected 8 years ago?
Is there a list?
Yes.
Yes, there is a list.
There is.
Yes.
So how then...
And we've been going around talking to our the real delegates. They're saying this guy, and you wait. See, the Nene is on 27th.
Yeah.
First of all, it's an illegal meeting.
Yes.
Because how it has been convened is an illegality.
How do you know that the people are being changed in this particular list? Members are being changed.
We are aware, and we even know where they're doing it. You wait and see 27th. Of course, the meeting is illegal. We will not be there, clearly, because who's given notice? It's not Sifuna, and legally by law, that notice has to be done by the Secretary General. And I saw the notice was signed by Deputy Secretary General.
Okay.
Let me explain something.
It's an illegality.
And I understand where Weke is coming from. You know, Weke and team.
Yes.
You
mean Linda Mwananchi team?
Yeah, they and his cabals, his friends around him, the Sifunas, the Babus. They thrive in propaganda. And I want to take Weke through the ODM party constitution. He has not read it. The ODM party constitution.
Pause. This man was a member of ODM before you.
Being a member,
how do you make a declaration that he has not read it?
Because of what he's saying. And you can check the constitution.
Okay, I have not read it. What does it say?
So I want to tell you.
Yes.
Weke, we respect the tribunal orders. And I started by saying, yes, the orders from the court preserve the status quo. The fact that Edwin Sifuna, the resolution by NGC, by NEC to suspend him, those decisions were stayed by the court. We respect and we agree. But he says the meeting is illegal. I want to take Weke through ODM party constitution, Article 21(1)(I), that says that the deputy party, the deputy secretary general of the party can be authorized by NEC or as far as the constitution provides to perform the functions of the SG. Weke, read it.
When he's dead.
No. When what happened?
When what happened?
Anytime, whether the SG is there or not, anytime. It is there.
So
Number two,
All right.
he has talked about delegates. I want to refer Weke to Article 73 of the ODM party constitution again, that talks about harmonization principle. It says, in the circumstances that NEC feels that election cannot happen in the branch, polling station, and whichever organ, the NEC shall appoint people in the acting capacity in the interim period to perform those functions. Today, we have got situations in Nyando.
Right.
We have got situations in Migori of election on the ground that the branch elections had not happened. Does it mean that the NDC will not go on? No. The provisions of law of the party allows those to happen. So when Weke says that we are performing an illegal meeting, why have they not gotten orders from court to stop
the meeting?
When Weke says that this meeting will happen but is illegal, why do you allow an illegal meeting to happen? It is legal. In fact, that meeting is the supreme decision of the party, because look at the attendance. 3,000. The law says 3,000, not more than 3,000 delegates must attend. This composition of the 3,000
not more than or not less than?
Not more than.
Okay.
It has been capped.
Okay.
And there is a formula to arrive at 3,000.
All right.
And I started by telling you, the delegates that Weke is saying that are being changed, these are rumors. Show us the list. Show us who is doing it, when it's being done, where it is being done. We don't want to whip public emotions. I'm asking, and I want to speak to the ODM delegates today. Prepare for a national Delegates Conference in the name of Special Delegates Convention, where you will make a supreme decision on the agenda. And then the ODM party also says that only agenda that is approved by NEC shall be discussed in the Special Delegates Conference. That agenda, they didn't challenge it.
But let me ask Brian. He has raised a very interesting point that I didn't know about, that you can actually go to court and stop this NDC.
And who has told you we will not go?
Okay.
You see, even listening to Okango,
Right.
City, how can you say that the NEC has capacity to mandate the Deputy Secretary General to usurp the powers of the Secretary General? That's an illegality.
No, that's not usurpation. That is
Because-
constitutional delegation.
No,
It's not.
Okango, you've gone to school.
Yes,
man.
and that's what I'm explaining to you.
When the court says this guy is a substantive SG, you cannot again decide that NEC will mandate another SG to perform the functions of an SG.
Okay.
It's an illegality because that is now usurping the powers of the SG. At its due, the constitution mandates the NEC to go against a court order.
Actually, if you were to look at your constitution as ODM, the two of you, it's not very clear on that subject. What it says is, if the Secretary General fails to issue a notice, then the NEC comes into the NEC. So the NEC does have powers, not as though they do not have powers. Gentlemen, there's something I want to ask here, because I don't want this back and forth of what ODM doesn't want. What are you two fighting about, really? Linda Mwananchi, Linda. What's the fight? What is the problem, really?
Let me start by explaining this city so that Weke can come in. There's no fight.
Oh, there is a fight, all right.
No. There's no fight. You know, when you are dealing with one of the most progressive parties in the region, that's why you call it a movement, there is likely to be divergent opinion. But our friends, when we started the campaign of Linda Ground to try and mobilize our people, register voters, take IDs, and prepare for the next election, they went and copy-pasted something they call Linda Wananchi. What are you Linda Wananchi from? We are saying that the people, and particularly members of ODM, have concerns. Their concerns are that there is corruption in this country. Their concerns are devolution must be strengthened. Their concerns are debt is high. How do you solve that? The government of the day must solve that. So we are structuring ourselves towards forming a government that is actually going to address that. That is where the problem is. When you see Linda Wananchi meetings, the Linda Wananchi meetings are led by Weke and Sifuna, his friend. There is no party structure. Where is your party leader? Where is the deputy party leaders? Where is the chairperson? Where are the branch officials? What is your color coordination of the party? It is not there. So we are saying those are not ODM meetings. Those are Linda Wananchi meetings. The real ODM meetings are Linda Ground, where the leadership is there, the members are there, the structure is there, from the polling station to the national level. Number two, I've listened to Weke say that some of these meetings we are organizing are funded from elsewhere. He has not told us who is funding them, because they seem to know. But I'm asking them, who funds Linda Wananchi meetings? There have been accusations against them that Uhuru Kenyatta is funding their meetings. There are accusations that the last meeting they attended, they were given 60 million. They are fighting among themselves over the 60 million. There are accusations that even themselves, they don't know what to do with the 60 million because they don't know where it's coming from.
Okay.
I want to tell Weke, for us in Linda Ground, it is a party. The party has got membership. The party enjoys political parties fund in billions. Today, the government owes 12 billion. You know, so the political parties.
In all honesty, even your faction has been accused of receiving money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are all accusations.
Okay.
It is your word against mine. But City raised something that the NEC can take a decision if the person in that office is not able to.
It just says fails to do so.
But I want to remind the city also.
So how did they
the constitution of the party that was ratified by NGC on 18th April 2024. I know Weke has not seen it. That is the constitution in operation. It has got two important provisions. Article 49 that convenes NDC. And it says in convening NDC, the NEC resolution is what the chairperson of the party takes action on to convene. But that notice will go out through the SG. Then it goes and gives a buffer and says, when there's a vacancy, then NEC can appoint somebody. But in this case, I agree there's no vacancy because Sifuna is there. But again, it gives another provision. Even if Sifuna was the substantive today, as they say, even if there was no issue, I can tell you, NEC can still authorize 21(1)(I), the Deputy Secretary General Political Affairs, to perform functions of the SG. The reason why that provision in law is there is because a situation is contemplated such that there could be a legal battle, there could be personal differences, there could be an impediment, and that should not stop operations and leadership of the party. That is why that law is there. Weke, please read it. It is there.
City,
Yes,
you know, you've asked a very simple question, and Okango has gone round in circles. Let me tell you the problem between Linda Ground and the Linda Mwananchi. Now, these guys, we call them Jodongaich. Jodongaich are guys who they check and take care of their stomach. So what has happened, our party, the party that Raila built 20 years ago, has actually been sold by a cabal. This cabal that is headed by Akina Okango, and you know those guys. So what has happened, we have lost our identity as ODM. ODM is being run from UDA. It's actually the department of UDA. I was speaking to another member of parliament in Nairobi who is inside the cabal. He's telling me, Brian, for the first time, me, a serious member of parliament, he goes to queue city at UDA offices to get a to get an orange t-shirt and a kofia. So the problem that we have with these guys, they don't want to listen to us. We're telling them ODM, Raila built it in 20 years. That movement that you've seen, they're literally finishing it in barely a year. Now, look at, people don't understand. In ODM, Luos, we are the minority.
Okay.
If you look at the votes, the numbers, traditionally, Western people have been with us for all these years.
Okay.
The Kamba Nation have been with us for 3 elections, including the last one where Kalonzo was not even a deputy, but they still voted for us to a man. Guys from Coast, the Kisi Nation have been with us. Then you're telling us we just do an about turn and leave these guys. How now? Now let me tell you, this ODM run by the one that is being run by this Jodongaich, I can assure you it will not get more than 20 seats. In Nairobi here, where will you get votes? In Nakuru, where will you get votes?
Are we talking
in
about
Kisi Nation, where will you get votes?
In a general election.
In a general election. These guys, this route they're taking us, I can assure you, we will not get more than 20 seats. And we tell them, you guys, even if you're eating, put brakes. Think a little bit. Even if you're eating, we know you're full. You know, initially, they were telling us they don't want to be president. They are telling us they don't want to be deputy. Nairobi governor, when Babu says he wants to become a governor, they do not want. So we're asking, is there something you're seeing that we are not? They're telling us they want power.
Yeah.
And they're telling us they're in power. They're in broad-based. And they say they don't want to go back to opposition. So we say, oh, no problem, you're in power. How does that help our people?
Brian, what is the worst that can happen on the 27th if they are allowed to have the NDC as things are today?
What do you mean?
Like, what is the worst?
We will go to court. That is an illegal meeting.
Yes.
And as we've heard the city saying, that in the event that the SG has done what?
He said, if he fails to issue that notice.
So you have to show that you wrote to the SG to issue a notice and he failed, which was not done.
What is the best that can happen if in that NDC meeting?
I am very happy that is doing a lot of own goals because they have failed.
How so?
They have failed to do so. Their documentation to that effect. And we are waiting them in court. Weke, please prepare documentation, come to court and prove your case. Number 2, the best that can happen is the meeting of over 2,000, capped at 3,000 delegates.
Yes.
Convene together as the supreme organ of the party and make decisions that are binding to the party for the party to move forward. I am impressed by the two agenda. Agenda number 4, ratification of the NGC decision as far as party leadership is concerned. Agenda number 5, taking note of Article 87 of the party constitution that speaks to the issues of coalition building. Weke says that we are Jodongaich. That's a very interesting statement.
Okay.
Because Weke believes...
If there's anything you want to pick from this, Nini, Jodongaich.
Listen,
I'll take that.
If you see, Weke and the team believe in propaganda. They have told us that the people of Kenya should go back to Maandamano. ODM has got majority of the young people who were killed in Maandamano from 2007 to date. ODM has got the largest number of people who are suffering, young people without jobs, women not having money to take their children to school. ODM, like many others, is the most disadvantaged support group in terms of development. Today, they're telling us that we go to Gachagua. Today, they're telling us that we should now go and talk to people that threatened even to kill Raila Odinga during 2023 Maandamano.
Okay.
We have told our people that a time comes when we must use a principle called BATNA. The BATNA principle is a theory of negotiation that was established by Harvard law scholars. It says best alternative to a negotiated agreement.
Okay.
If you are in a negotiating agreement or you have negotiated and you believe that there is no better other idea out of this negotiation, please stay there. We have applied ourselves to BATNA principle and we have said where we are today, we have seen, number 1, inclusivity. We have seen financial inclusivity, progress. Might not be the best, progress. We have seen economic inclusivity, we have seen social inclusivity as outlined in the Zani progress report that they call 10-point lies. You know, today, as we sit here, we are saying it is BATNA because we have seen development, pockets of it, in our regions based on the calmness of the political environment and the fact that stability has been enhanced in our country due to the fact that we agreed to retreat back. In order to progress, sometimes you have to retreat. Raila Odinga taught us that. They have told us that every time they are following the ideals of Raila Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga told the people of ODM that we are in this broad-based government until 2027. What is the year today? 2026. Why are they telling us that get out and Raila said 2027? It means they want to take us to opposition. We are not going to go to the streets. And I want to speak to the people of Kenya today. As ODM, we have made a decision that not any time again will we take our young people, our women, our fathers, our brothers to the streets to fight somebody's war. We are not. The war that Linda Wananchi is fighting is Gashagua's war. We know it. They are bidding for Gachagua. We are bidding for Kenyans. They are saying they are leading Wananchi. But if you ask them, what is your alternative on health? They don't have. What is your alternative on education? They don't have. What is your alternative on infrastructure? They don't have. What is your alternative on youth employment? They don't have. Then they tell us, get out of government and come and demonstrate on the streets while our people are suffering. But Weke, that is not right.
There's a question Weke has
answer.
Or something he has said, really, not really a question, but he has posed it this way. He has said, ODM currently as it is, it's like your faction is not interested in the presidency, not interested in the deputy presidency, not interested in, I think he has mentioned Nairobi governorship. So he was asking, like, what is the...
Who told him that we are not interested? Now let me finish. Who told him? You know, Weke is imagining that we are not.
All right.
When we are negotiating for power, you don't just sit there and say we are negotiating for power. You look for chances that you can get to enable your people and empower them financially and economically. We have said that when you are going to this negotiation, we are going as equal partners. The word Linda ground means strengthen your bases. You strengthen your bases. When we strengthen our bases, we'll emerge stronger with the numbers. He's talking about not getting numbers in Nairobi. Let me shock Weke. There are traditional bases in this city that are predominantly ODM. And in negotiations, we will ensure that we capture that. But what they want to do, they want to divide the party from within to secure those seats for Wamunyoro. We know that. Like Weke, I know is running on Wamunyoro ticket. These are the people who are buying time in ODM. They have actually left. Weke left long time ago. So they cannot purport to speak for ODM. We know that.
Weke, you were saying something in regards to this whole issue of seats.
You know, Mungala.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm telling you. Smart guys like Okango, when they speak like guys who don't look smart, then you know there is a problem. City, even when you're going for negotiation, what do? You don't, and this is what we are telling them, and that's where the departure is. We're telling them, look here, first and foremost, when you're going for negotiations, you need to bring your presidential candidate. And they say, we have a presidential candidate, let's say it is Orengo, or Sifuna, or Oburu, the power man, the Ngao man. You say this is our president. So now, when you sit on a negotiating table, you tell the guy, look here, we are interested in your seat. They say, no. You know, I am ahead of you. I've done my first term. Allow me to do another term. Then you say, okay, how do we proceed? They say, okay, you take a deputy. You know, since the advent of multipartism, and that is the reason why we know there is something very off. Since the advent of multipartism, the first election we had, Kibaki was elected, he was from DP. The deputy in that formation came from Ford Kenya. When Wamalwa died under PNU, Kibaki took Kalonzo from ODM Kenya.
It was Mudi Awori and then Kalonzo much later.
I'm saying in that election.
Okay.
Now, after Kibaki left, we go to Uhuru Kenyatta, who had KANU, created something called TNA. William Ruto had a party called URP. They created Jubilee. Since the advent of multipartism. Now, this is the only time the largest party in East and Central Africa is doing a coalition with a small party, and the president and the deputy comes from that same party. Then you're telling us there's something that is not off. These guys have very funny narratives. They are telling us that they are not going to the opposition. And we're asking them, what do you mean? William Ruto, Mount Kenya is gone. Kamba Nation is gone. Luyaland is gone. So how is he going to form government? These guys are the one taking us to opposition. William Ruto is opposition. You know, Mungala, let me tell you.
All right.
William Ruto tells a story about Nyayo. When Nyayo was supporting Uhuru Kenyatta, nearly the last minute, there were over 55 MPs. This one is actually, this story is often told by one William Ruto. They went to State House and they told now Nyayo, do something. Kibaki is leading, Uhuru is trailing. But we know you have a card. We know you have the state. You know you have all the instruments. Fanya mambo. Nyayo said, what do you mean? Which mambo? This thing is gone. You go and concede defeat.
Right.
Often told by William Ruto. William says that when they arrived in Serena, where they were going to do a concession speech, there were only two people. There were over 55 MPs, but when they went to do that concession speech, it was just him and Uhuru Kenyatta. Okango, smell the coffee. If you do not want to take our people to the opposition, William Ruto is the next opposition leader.
You know, Mungala.
Yeah.
I listen to Weke and sometimes I cringe because he's telling us that William Ruto is the next opposition leader. He's telling us William Ruto has
Where is he
lost
getting
Nyanza.
votes from?
He has lost Central. He has lost Ukambani. The product of an election is seen after election. We have not gone to the election. But let me just jog his memory. When we went for the by-elections last year, November, broad-based government won those seats, majority of them. When we went for the by-election this year, the four of them, broad-based, and in particular the UDA, won those elections. So, for me, I measure the level of success in an election by the preliminaries. The preliminaries are by elections. They have won. I can guarantee you, if Weke and the team get out of ODM because they have left,
Yes.
even this Weke will not get any seat. He will lose by mid-morning. Sifuna, if he gets out of ODM and go and contest presidency, I don't know, senator, he will lose.
And
because
we are not getting out.
our elections are party-driven, tribal-driven, region-driven. That is the truth. But I am worried that Weke is giving us narratives about Nyayo and Kibaki. You know, those days were in the old constitution, with Kibaki, a bit of it. But today, we are in the new dispensation. And the new dispensation demands of application of the national values and principles of governance. We are more concerned about the inclusivity of this country than politics they're playing. We are more concerned about democratic spaces in this country than the politics they're playing.
Okay.
I want to tell Linda Wananchi, if for sure you believe that you are protecting the interests of the people, show us your blueprint. If for sure you are protecting the interests of Wananchi, tell us why is it that you are weakening the party from within? If you don't believe the party, you don't believe in the Mr. Power, Ngoman as you call it, why don't you walk away? We invite
Fred.
them to the NDC.
Fred.
Come to the NDC.
Yeah.
If you want to compete, you are free to compete.
Fred.
If you defeat the members there, you have your day.
We're with Frederick Okango and Brian Weke, both of ODM, but one is Linda, mwingine analinda ground na kuna mwenye analinda mwananchi. There is a question I asked you gentlemen earlier on, and it's about the numbers. If you could just help me understand the composition of ODM, because from my understanding, mi nimekuwa nikijua ODM is, belongs to everyone. Of course, I know there are some strongholds of ODM.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but now I hear of, these specific areas that, if things were to go south, they might exit with a certain person, or they might remain with certain people. Maybe, Brian, and I'll start with you. Help me understand the consolidation of these numbers.
First, before I do that, before we went on a break, Okango insinuated that the government has done very well in the by-elections. Mungala, let me tell you, and I pray for this country. Since I was born, since the advent of multipartyism in this country, I have never seen the most violent by-elections like the ones that we saw. We had state-sponsored goons. The money that was exchanging hands was in millions. So you cannot come here and tell us that because you won a few seats here and there, through violence, you're doing very well.
Brian,
Okay.
Let's try and have a little honest conversation here. The politics of this country at the national level begin at the party level. Most political parties in this country, when you look at the process of nomination or the sifting out of people who would stand, at best, many are fairly chaotic. Or if they're not chaotic, they're predetermined, meaning they have a very clear idea of who it is they want to represent. But they go through the sham of having a democratic process. And yet, political parties are not democratic institutions, really. They're not. Political parties around the world have owners. It's not really complicated. It's a simple truth, which the democracy that we speak of is a representation of the various political parties that you see and the process of getting these people into parliament and hopefully representing the people. But political parties, if you ask me, anybody who tells you they are democratic parties is lying to you. Political parties cannot be. But yes, you have a specific partisan interest, and that's what you're pursuing. What's democratic about it? Your constitution, which you create, allows you to nominate, allows you to do all sorts of things. The moment you talk of a democracy, you're talking about a plebiscite where the wananchi are allowed. That's not how democratic parties work. And that is how democratic parties have worked the world over. Now, when you look at the discussion we're having, I want to leave Raila Odinga out of this, the late Raila Odinga out of this discussion, because he was the party leader for both these two gentlemen here. They are leading a discussion that is useful and instructive to the country to understand what happens when you have a powerful leader parting and departing rather, and how it is that people now look for realignment. This discussion here, this is realignment. But significantly, there are people who know the power that ODM have, who would not wish ODM to remain as a single unit. It's just a simple fact. And then when you look at these two gentlemen who are both politicians, you have to ask, what really is the interest? You cannot be a politician and not have an interest. It is not possible. Okay? If people who elect the Pope have interest, itakuwa
Sembuse Fred.
itakuwa mere mortals who are in a political dispensation. But there is one element that is left out of this discussion. It is the public who have made ODM possible. The people who have felt that this is the party that actually represents them.
Absolutely.
If you look at just what ODM has been able to do in the democratic space of this country led by Raila Odinga, it is amazing to observe and it is amazing to see. Everything that we are talking about here, there were many participants who were not in ODM. But the leadership that made the charge and these things possible was Raila Odinga and his ODM. So here we are. What in this discussion could you say is keeping the flame of the interest that Raila Odinga and ODM stood for alive in this discussion here? What aspect of it would you say is keeping this discussion alive? I actually think this disagreement is good. I said it was a disagreement, I said it is, and then they proceeded to disagree. So my point was actually made. Why it is good is this. It means, at one level, this is a party that allows for divergent views.
Democracy is alive.
They allow for divergent views. And what you're seeing here is a quest for power, which again in political settings is allowed and is necessary. But let's circle back. Where are the people who make this particular party possible in this discussion? Because this is a discussion among the executives, the people who actually help run the party. Where is it? What is it that they think? What is it that they want? Or are we going to come to the conclusion that it doesn't really matter what they think? You will decide for them what they should think.
Yes.
Let me tell you, this city, I have to buy for him coffee. Now, this is a member of Linda Mwananchi. You see the way he's spoken.
Anataka kulinda mwananchi.
Yani, this is the and these are our divergent views with Okango. You know, as a young man, Brian Weke, the reason why I joined ODM was because of certain things. And most of those things is what City has said. ODM was about the people, was for the people, was about human rights, was about democracy, was about governance. For the first time in history of ODM, after our party leader is gone. And that is the reason why you're seeing we are departing from these guys. If you see Okango here wearing a nice suit and a tie and they're saying, you know, we want to negotiate. They're now interested in positions. They're now interested in who's taking what. Jodonga each are now taking, let's take this, let's negotiate for this. We are negotiating. And they're not negotiating about the people. They're not negotiating about the interests of the people. They're not negotiating about how our people will be taken care of. It's very, very unfortunate. You know, this same cabal, City, they had brought in Raila in Mombasa. The same cabal. And you saw them. And they wanted Raila to sign an agreement. Raila said, no, I have to go and consult the people. If you remember, in the morning, we saw Raila in State House, in Mombasa, with William, with the same cabal. And you saw them. So they wanted Raila to sign an agreement. He said, no, let me go around and speak to my chairman. He started in Kilifi, went to Busia, went to Kisumu, all his support base. And when he came back, he instructed these guys to speak to Sifuna. That is how the 10-point agenda was born. Now, this 10-point agenda, I hear people talking about it, but they don't understand. 10-point agenda is the core of ODM. ODM as a party is about the 10-point agenda. And no, Raila set these guys up and they didn't understand. He gave them a rope to hang themselves. The 10-point agenda, that's why they can never implement it. Because UDA does not believe in it. It is the core of ODM. If you read every point, is what espouses ODM. It is the backbone of ODM. It is everything about ODM. But guess what? These guys, now they come and tell us, you know, we are doing very well. We are at 8 out of 10.
Mongala.
Yes, sir.
Very unfortunate.
I am listening to Weke. He's very economic with the truth. He says, Raila, let me start from negotiation. He says, we are negotiating for positions only.
Yeah.
In political negotiations, and I refer Weke to bottom-up principle. In political negotiations, you don't negotiate for positions only. You negotiate for power. Power comes with resources, positions, development, and many others. That is why ODM has got the 7 principles and got the issue of concern to be addressed by the people. Number 2, I agree. Raila Odinga was very consultative. Raila Odinga went around this country and asked the people, asked his supporters, we are in a situation where this country is going down. As people and leaders who believe in this country, what should we do? The people told Raila, you must retreat in order to advance. Raila Amolo Odinga retreated. He claims that Raila told the people, go to Sifuna. ODM is not about personality. ODM is a structured institution with coherence, structure, and clarity. We believe in consultation as a national value in Article 7 of the party constitution. Weke knows that. Number 2, when Raila got the views of the people that we can actually unite this country and work together, Raila heeded to the public and said, we are going to create something that is going to stabilize this country.
Okay.
Then came the broad-based. The 10-point agenda was not there yet. Then Raila said, how do we sustain political stability of the country and ensure that it is not about ODM and UD alone. It's about the people. Came full implementation of Nadco report. I was a technical expert in the Nadco. So, yeah, the other day, Weke and the team were launching a report they call 10-point lies. And for sure they lied because they were saying, under full implementation of Nadco report, nothing has been done. Weke is seated here today. He knows very well that Commission, IBC, is a product of Nadco. Weke knows very well that ethics and anti-corruption bill has been amended today. It is an act. Weke knows very well that statutory instrument bill has been amended today. It is an act. He knows that there are 2 bills under mediation. Election Offences Bill and Election Amendment Bill.
Okay.
Weke knows that there are 4 bills that are under consideration in Parliament out of the 9 instruments that came from Nadco. And he says, not reported. Let me take you. The document that he's talking about, Raila said, we must be inclusive in all spheres of life. That is Raila. That is ODM. And for sure, inclusion is not about power in position alone. It's about financial inclusion. Today, as we speak, what is the attempt? And remember, this report is not final report. It's a progress report. It shows where have we reached, what more can we do to make it better.
Okay.
Today, the marginalization inclusion of this country, 500 million has been set as a scholarship fund for children coming from marginalized community. He doesn't appreciate that. 200 million has been set for structural development in schools in marginalized community. There has been set Directorate of Marginalized Community in the office of the president to look into policy and regulations that will govern that. But most interestingly, we are talking about issues of young people.
Okay.
They believe they have the young people. Has there been progress towards addressing the concern of young people? Maybe not to the level that is required, but there have been progress. And I'll tell you, today, over 840,000 young Kenyans are targeted to enjoy Nyota program funds, which is a grant from World Bank. Not alone. And they say that is a political slush fund.
By World Bank?
They are insulting the young people that they pretend to protect, while these are young people who are receiving this fund. They have nothing. 20,000, 25,000 in batches. They have been trained. They are saying the young people are not, the issue are not addressed. Recognition of prior learning. The mechanics in Suba, where he come from, that did not go to school, but because of economic hardship, they managed to go through mechanic training in a village there and got some knowledge. They are now recognized. The carpenters, they are saying that has not been done. I pity the Linda Wananchi because they are basing their 1 out of 10 mark for the Zani report on 2 things. Propaganda, non-recognition of legislation, and non-recognition of disbursement of funds. As we speak today, Raila wanted strengthening of devolution and promoting it. We know for fact before the broad-based, funds that were going to the counties were delayed. As we speak, by June 30th, 2024, there is no holding back of funds. They are reimbursed in time. But most importantly, the allocation has improved from 385 billion to 415 billion. They don't see that. I know this is not the best that we can get, but that's why it's called progress report. They dismissed this report, as I finish, without giving us the alternative. And I keep saying, because that is how propaganda works. You know, when you're in opposition, you cannot even oppose your life. You can even oppose your death that is ultimate. That's what they are doing. They have told us that this report is 1 out of 10. They have not given us alternative report that says, in the 10-point agenda, this is what we would have seen. Under health, this is what we would have seen. Under inclusion, this is what we would have seen. Under debt management, under sovereignty and rule of law, they have not. Instead, they are hiding around words and giving a report that they claim to be citizens' audit report, while that sounds like political manifesto to discredit the government of the day that is actually doing something.
Right.
I submit by saying we cannot allow Kenyans to be misled.
Yeah.
Weke and Sifuna and the team are misleading the public because they know the public are gullible today.
Right.
The public are no longer gullible. They are aware. They have read the report. Today, if you go online, you can see that 10-point agenda trending. Why? People are actually coming to the realization that actually something has been done.
Brian,
Moving.
you want to say something? Yes.
You know, City,
Yes.
there was a guy called Joseph Goebbels.
German.
Joseph Goebbels
Propaganda minister.
Yes.
was a propaganda minister in Germany. You know, he lied so much to the level that he also believed in his own lies.
It's a good way to propagate a lie.
You have got to believe it.
If you believe in it, then you're definitely more convincing.
Now you know what happened to Goebbels. At some point, Hitler died, and the guy said, "You Goebbels, now you have to be the president." You know, Goebbels lied when he was made to become president. He couldn't manage. He actually killed himself. He killed the wife, the kids, and eventually killed himself. So Okango is behaving like Goebbels here. The 10-point agenda is very simple. The first issue, and I want you to answer if I ask you.
Right.
It says full implementation of Nadco report. Not partial,
Full implementation.
full implementation of Nadco report. Has it been implemented?
He has said it's in the progress.
The report was progress report.
To Malindi.
Yes. Movie.
Yes.
I am the one asking the questions. The wording says full implementation of Nadco report.
Not progress.
Has it been fully implemented?
No.
Absolutely not. Then you say you are at 8 out of 10. Under this full implementation of Nadco report, one of the key issues was audit of the last election. Has it started? Has
the
it
last
been
election?
There was
Yes.
a court case against them. There was an order stopping that.
Allow me. I'm the one prosecuting my case. You prosecuted your case.
Okay.
The audit of the last election, it is one of the key issues in this report. It has not been done, neither has it started.
Okay.
So you cannot come here and tell us you are at 8 out of 10. Yeah, that is 0 out of 10 because it has not been fully. And this guy was in Nadco report. He was in that committee. He knows what is in that report.
He said he was in the technical.
Yes, he
Yes,
was.
I was.
Now, protecting devolution. As we speak, this national government owes Nairobi government 100 billion. Then they come here and say, okay, don't worry, we'll give you 80 billion, but you will not manage it. We will create a committee that will manage it. How is that protecting devolution? Issues to do with freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly. See what is happening to Gachagua. Our Linda Mwananchi, they've mobilized goons when we were going to Kakamega. At the airport, we had to change planes and board a caravan to land in Kakamega because they had organized. Yani, there is no freedom of assembly in this country. Then you're telling us you're at 8 out of 10. How is that?
Okay.
Audit of the national debt. Has it been done? Have you seen?
I haven't seen it.
Then it provides very clearly that before the lapse of 1 year,
Right.
the government will do an audit of national debt. They should tell us what we owe, who do we owe, and what that debt did. Has not been done.
Okay.
So all these things, if I fight against corruption, if there is anything that this government does not talk about,
Corruption.
it's corruption. Have you ever heard William Ruto talk about corruption?
What I'm interested in is in seeing people arrested,
You
whether he
will not
talks about
see.
it or not.
Forget about even people being arrested. They will not even mention corruption.
Okay.
And let me tell you the magnitude of corruption in this government.
Fred tuongea tu dakika tu moja usijali.
The magnitude of corruption in this government supersedes all other governments combined. You'll never hear somebody, a PS being arrested. You'll never hear a parastatal chief being arrested. You'll never hear anything like that.
Okay.
So then you come and tell us we are at 8 out of 10.
All
This
right.
is a joke.
Kongala,
Yes, sir.
you know, I'm listening to Weke and I feel like crying. We're talking about...
But has he raised valid concerns?
No, he has
Stop
not.
abductions.
He has not. Because the report was supposed to be given progressively. You make steps, you give a report. You make steps, you give a report. He doesn't want to tell you that. So what he's saying, those are challenges that we hope that ultimately will be addressed, and not even with
Can
this
I just pick one?
No.
Okay,
Let me just
okay.
continue.
All right.
Not only with
Number
this
9,
government.
stop wastage of public resources.
Number 2, he has told about strengthening devolution. I've told him the increment in the equitable share.
Yeah.
Remember, the Council of Governors went public
Yeah.
and said there are certain senators that are actually undermining devolution. They're extortionists. One of his friends was mentioned. These are not my words. How do you linda wananchi while your leader has been mentioned in an extortioning racket?
Why hasn't that leader been arrested
Because
and arraigned in court?
I am aware the investigation going on. So you cannot come here and tell us that you are protecting devolution while your own leader is undermining. Number 2,
Right.
Weke tells us about corruption.
Yes.
I concede. Corruption in this country is rampant. I concede. It is something that started way back. But let me tell you, what has the members of parliament, including some of the people that he has there, done? The enactment of Conflict of Interest Act 2025 that is now going to address the issue of personal conflict in public spaces and in public sphere or in performing your duties. He is not acknowledging that. Number 2, there have been convictions. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission itself has stopped certain corruption cases, not cases, instances to the tune of 9 billion, 88 convictions, and there have been asset recovery. They have been recovering to the tune of 5 billion recently of money or property that were corruptly acquired. They're not saying that progress. To me, as a Kenyan, I am more interested in the progress so that I challenge the fool that he's talking about. We can only achieve full implementation if we address the partial implementation. I want to tell Weke that when you say abductions,
Yes.
Raila Amolo Odinga was against abductions, I agree. We as ODM members, we have given statements about abductions.
Fred, there are some folks
And-
that were abducted just the other day.
Yes. There were folks that were abducted the other day. Who abducted them?
I don't know.
Yes.
We are
You
still,
don't know.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that it is William Ruto who abducted them. It is not government who abducted them until you prove. We cannot lay blame where it is not. If they were abducted, we must know who abducted them and why.
On freedom of assembly?
Freedom of assembly.
Yeah.
Article 37 of the Constitution. To exercise that provision constitutionally,
Yes.
you go to the protest unarmed and peacefully. Now, when I see that, I cry because I have relatives and friends who are Gen Z who went to the protest and they were mistreated. And that's why we are saying today,
What about our
the
political
government has acknowledged
Yeah.
that there was a problem and we must now address the bill that was introduced in parliament, anti-demonstration bill, anti-protest bill, was withdrawn because the public, we said no. ODM said no. He cannot acknowledge that. He's talking about their meetings. Can I tell you what happens in their meeting?
Tell me.
These are gentlemen who drive with tear gas in their cars. They claim that they have no power to access tear gas. I'm not talking about no.
Fred,
Let me tell you and explain.
Can you tell him to be the
Let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
Weke
There is a
himself.
supermarket that sells,
Weke
tear
himself Weke himself knows
Yes.
that there's no government, no sane government that can decide to disrupt a meeting
Yes.
that was legally organized.
But Fred,
why
let me
would
ask.
the police go into that
Can I-
extra mile to do that?
I have a question.
Why?
Nani hii country anakuanga na tear gas? The last I checked, it's just the security forces.
Do they have security officers or police protecting them? They
Of
do.
course they do, yes.
So why are you telling me that's not possible?
Okay.
Why are you telling me?
So their
I
own
want-
security guards.
I am saying it is a possibility. I can tell you. I can tell you. We have seen instances.
Mbuvi,
We have seen instances.
Now you should know
No,
that
let
ODM
me finish.
that fought for
Let me finish.
democracy.
You see,
Let him finish.
let
and
me
then we
finish
come to
because I
Ibrahim.
also allowed him to finish.
Yeah.
Mungala,
Yeah.
we cannot cry and cry every time. They are whining and crying. Our meetings are being disrupted while there's 10-point agenda. You are mistreating our 10-point agenda. We are being accused of extorting funds in Senate while there's 10-point agenda. No. We are asking for collective responsibility. The police are required to maintain law and order. In every meeting, they are doing so. If there are breaches of that protocol, then the police must take responsibility. That's what we are saying.
Last but not least,
Yes.
on the issue of wastage, and
Yes.
especially when we see a lot
Yes.
of wastage coming from
opulence.
Yes.
Raila Amolo Odinga said no. We cannot allow opulence. We don't allow it. Today,
Opulence.
today, the
President.
government,
Right.
through this report, they have recorded that one of the ways that wastages used to occur is through procurement. You procure vehicles left, right, and center. You procure flowers. You procure mandazi. You procure what? In my view, that has stopped. In fact, when we were at Nadco,
Yes.
we said that we must limit even travel. When you're traveling locally, do economy.
State House has just
see?
taken some extra 8 billion last
Now,
week.
that is an issue for another day because the audit report must reveal that. The audit report must reveal that. I'm not going to listen to rumors from Weke and the team.
But it was-
no. That does the audit report reveal that? Does it says?
But
it
Fred,
is
you're
only,
being in. No, Fred.
It is only
When does an audit report come out?
the audit report.
Is it not a historical report?
Yes, it is an historical report.
Precisely. So, and how often does it come out?
Let me tell you. So that Weke can get in. It is only the audit report that shall reveal whether public money has been used lawfully or efficiently.
Okay.
Article 229. Weke is a lawyer, he knows that. Now, if that is the case, then it says after every 3 months, within 3 months, when this audit report are submitted in Parliament, he has members of Parliament, Linda Wananchi. The members of Parliament must take appropriate action. What action has Linda Wananchi taken if the audit report reveal that there is misappropriation? But I'm not saying there are no wastages. There are wastages. I concede. There are wastages. What are we doing about wastages? We
Okay.
have to apply ourselves to austerity measures. We must live within
you
our
said you
means.
had 8 out of
And
10.
no. I am saying, as per the progress report today,
8
what
out
has
of
been
10.
what has been done today? If we were to complete this cycle in 50 years, 20 years, then we can talk about fully.
Brian,
Today,
yes. Yeah.
even if Weke was to be the president, the same challenges will reoccur. The 10-point agenda was not about a period. It is an issue, or the issues that we must address every single day because they affect us every single day. So you cannot rate them at 1 out of 10. No, you cannot.
But he has raised some valid points there in terms of something is being done. It's just that Linda Mwananchi hamtaki kukubali imefanyika. Hata kama ni 0.2%.
First, where Raila is, where we come from, we are saying he's actually moving in his grave. That a serious member of his party, Okango, one of the key issues that Raila fought for is fundamental freedoms. One of the key issues that Raila fought for is issues to do with the rule of law. One of the key issues that Raila fought for is issues to do with the right to freedom of assembly. Now, a member of ODM, I want you to understand, a member of ODM is talking about us going to buy tear gas from a supermarket, then we tear gas ourselves. It's very, very unfortunate.
He has said that your security officers are the ones doing it.
It is very unfortunate.
I said,
even
it's possible.
security officers, the procedure is picking tear gas or picking a firearm, you have to sign for it. So if there is an officer that signed for tear gas and went and threw it in Nini, he should be accountable. You know, those machinations, we've seen them many years movie. If Okango, a serious member of ODM, you know, we have been beaten in these streets fighting for the rights of the common man. If he can come and say that we are tear gassing ourselves, it's very, very unfortunate. On issues to do with wastage and lifestyle, look at how much State House is spending.
17B.
17B. Then Okango is saying, you wait for the audit report. So that we don't discuss it now, we wait for it after the audit has been done. Look at what is happening. Somebody walks in a church, gives 20 million, walks somewhere, gives I don't know what. This is my empowerment. They are going around giving people 30, 40 million. You know, it's very, very unfortunate. I think we are losing it as a country. Then you come and tell us here, we are doing okay. We are at 8 out of 10.
You know, the real problem, if you ask me, is how we...
Then you come and tell us here, we are doing okay. We are at 8 out of 10.
You know, the real problem, if you ask me, is how we focus our discussion on these matters. You know the number of Kenyans who today are facing starvation? They actually don't know what they're going to eat today. And now that we have with these heavy rains, that number is going to increase. And not long after this, there'll be disease breakout.
There's drought.
There's drought. The reason why I keep bringing this up is this. It represents the situation that we're in. If we look at the minimum wage that is considered to be universally accepted, do you know what percentage of Kenyans live below the so-called minimum wage bracket?
What is the percentage?
77.
Okay.
It's not that they don't survive, but please understand, very many people who live in this town they seem to fall under the radar of what you call the World Bank and all these institutions for a simple reason. It's how we survive. Many people get food sent to them from the rural areas, what they eat locally here. And how they survive is not within the brackets of the indicators that they use to measure. So they will remember for the longest time what we call the SMEs or SSME or SMME, whatever they're called. They were called by the World Bank as the hidden economy. We now give it a new term. Part of the measurement has to do with not knowing exactly how much. KRA has been trying to figure this thing out for a long time and they're still trying to figure it out. Why do I keep going back to this? Agriculture is a devolved function. Meaning, every county in this government needs to focus on how they can be food secure. Okay? But do they do this? Maybe some little. Your grandparents were food secure. They didn't have all these advantages that you have. They actually were food secure. That's why when you go to many of these areas, in the rural areas, especially, I'm talking about the region that I know well, they all had a granary somewhere. How do you have a granary if you don't have access? It's access that goes to the granary. When our politics is about executive issues to do with who has power and who doesn't, and who represents the people more than they do, and yet the opportunity to represent the people exists. The governors we have in this country, a good number of them are ODM. Members of parliament, the party that has the largest number of MPs, as determined by the court, is ODM. The formation that we call Azimio had the largest number in parliament, again determined by the courts. It's not me who's determining it. So, should this region that ODM has oversighted and has got the largest numbers, should they not be the regions that are doing the best in the country? Because all the wars, the fighting, the sufuria wearing, the everything that has gone on was so that these people's lives could be better. Now, what progress report is this if with all this discussion, their lives even before these rains is worse than it was before? So what exactly are you saying? It is not that the cost of unga has gone down. It has gone down. But can they afford it even when it has gone down? It has gone down. So whenever we have these discussions, they're interesting for purpose of academics and to understand the different thought process. I actually like these discussions and when they're happening within a political party.
Yeah.
Because this idea of everybody just agreeing with everything, to me, that doesn't bode well. But at the end of it, when the discussions come to an end, because they must, how exactly are we going to make the lives of the citizens of this country better? How? If that isn't being addressed, then all these discussions we're having are actually a complete waste of time.
You know, from what I understand, in terms of even the malumbano yenye yako katika ODM, my understanding is that at the end of the day, we want to see, or rather you guys want to see how best to deliver to your constituents, right? Yes. So that means whether it is the people that voted for you at the ward level or at the constituency level, all the way to the county level. I'm just waiting to understand how Linda Ground is hoping to achieve that going forward. Yeah.
Correct. Mungala,
yeah.
Political parties are formed
to capture power. Right.
And that's why Oburu Oginga is saying we must be in power, because we cannot stay without power. And if you read proper the constitution of ODM, I refer to it a lot because that is the guiding principle of the party. It has got the national values, it has got the rules and regulations that every party member, including Weke, that must comply with. The Article 16 of the party demands the party leader to campaign for the party with the party to form government, not to form opposition where they are going. That is what the party constitution says. It also says every party member is obligated to protect the party and to ensure that they participate in the activities of the party that are democratic and for the benefit of the people. Today, you are asking, how will Linda Ground ultimately achieve the values of the ODM and in addressing the issues of concern of the ODM people? I want to answer you. Not only ODM people. Political parties are vehicles of democratic governance. And when you get to power, you not only address the issue of your supporters, but also other people that are not your supporters. Because you are in government, you are mandated by the constitution to do that. Today, we believe that when we go to the ground, we must tell the people the truth. The truth of the matter is we are at a bad place. But we cannot keep whining as Linda Wananchi. Mbaya, must go, Kasongo, one term. No, we must now tell them where is the solution. And we are telling them, the first thing that Linda Ground Initiative are telling the people, take a vote. Register as a voter. So that you are democratically empowered to make a decision come election time. We are waiting for that. And they're saying they're coming. Let's compete. Number two, we are giving them the message. What is the message, Mungala? We are saying we are at a situation where we must look at where we are coming from. For very many years, our supporters have been on the street. Resist. IBC must go. And many other initiatives. Protest. That combative politics, in a way, has not enabled our people to progress. Because we believe that after every election, we must be the petitioners. We have never defended any petition. This time round, we have told our people, we have been fighting other people's war. Because politicians, majority of them, believe that once you get to that power, you abandon your people.
So the best way is
saying, we must now get into that power and see how best do we work from within.
By collaborating with the incumbent.
By collaborating with the like mind, not incumbent. And they have argued. Is abduction like mind? Is corruption like mind? They have argued that. But let me tell them. I believe in the principles of political negotiation. That says, when you are going for a deal, ask yourself, where I am today, if there were no any deal, would I be better? Orange Democratic Movement has looked at that and they have realized that today
the best course of
action is to partner with UDA to acquire power. Reason is the other side, they have no agenda, they have no idea, they have got no manifesto, they have got no candidate, they have got no plan to secure the lives of Kenyans. So you'd rather go where there's a plan. And I was in Azimio. If you look at Azimio, ODM was the one of the biggest partners. If you look at the manifesto of Azimio and look at the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza,
Yes.
there were concurrent issues. I'll give an example. Affordable housing. We all said that to address the shortage of housing in this country, we must initiate a program called affordable housing. The mechanics were different, but the idea, the principle was the same. Today, I can guarantee you, if there is any iconic structure in every county, 44 out of 47 is affordable housing. What has it done to the SMEs? 15,000 SMEs related to the industry of construction are benefiting.
Okay.
Number two, 120 youths today are participating. It might not be the best, but at least they're getting a livelihood. And 200,000 units are constructed. I am telling you,
Yes.
as Linda Ground, we believe
All right.
that
This is the
our
best course of
people
action.
have only an option of partnering with a group that has a plan.
Do you see as Linda
As an
Grant-
idea.
Yeah. Do you think ODM will, as much as now you're saying that you will be part of the next government,
Yes.
at what level? Are you going to have CSs? Are you going to have
Good
the deputy
question.
president? Are you going to have the
Good
president?
question. Let me tell you. That's why Weke was going before the cart, putting the horse before the cart. We have said we have called for a national delegates conference.
Right.
That is a special delegates conference called SDC. And we have given two agenda. Agenda number 4, ratifying the decision of NGC as far as leadership concerned, so
Right.
that we give the mandate to the party leader to go and negotiate. And in negotiation, we have taken note of the decision of NEC in Article 87 of the party
Yeah.
to form coalitions pre or post. And that allow us to now evaluate our partners. And we are starting with UDA. Why? Because that's where we are. Who knows? We might even partner with others in future. But we are saying as it is today.
UDA is number one.
Because we are in a broad-based arrangement.
All right.
And there are partners. We have seen where we have come from. We are going to highlight the challenges and the progress.
All right.
And in doing so, we shall evaluate and say, now, when you are on a negotiating table, we say, what is it that will benefit our people and Kenyans? It's not about positions. So when we tell me about deputy president, I don't know what, who tells you that in the event that ODM misses the deputy president position, there are no other things that we can get?
All right.
We will be happier if the people of Kenya benefit and not leaders of ODM. We will be happier
Yeah.
if the issues of concern, the 10-point agenda, is addressed fully and not ODM. We will be happier if this country is more stable and not just ODM getting positions as
All right.
Linda Wananchi want us to get. We are not going to do that. That is something that we have said, and we are going to this negotiation with our heads high
Yeah.
and bold as ODM, because we believe in democratic principles and we believe that unity is better than division. The path they're taking us, they want us to go to Wamunyoro, a divisive character. They want us to go to Wamunyoro,
Yeah.
a guy who has said that himself, he had locked all the gates. You cannot enter. This is a free country.
Brian, in terms of what he has said, if on the 27th of March things don't go necessarily how you would expect, what does that mean for your faction? Will you leave ODM, form a new party, and will that new party form government on its own, or is it going to join the opposition towards forming the same government?
You know that narrative, we've had it before. We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
We are in ODM to stay.
No matter what happens on the 27th.
We are in, let me tell you, ODM is about the people. It is not about a few people that they've created. It's about the people. If you followed Raila Odinga, he has over 7 million people who follow him. Not a few people like Akina Okango. If I listen to Okango, the narrative that he has been given to come and say here, he's actually questioning what Raila has done over 20 years. He's telling us, our people have suffered. So he basically is questioning what Raila has done over 20 years. All these things, stories is telling you. Affordable housing. You've had City telling you. And that's why I'm telling City, you need to join us.
Us is who?
The Linda Mwananchi. The way you think like Raila Odinga. I like you. You said 77% are living.
If you look at what is considered the universal minimum wage, the bulk of the people that we have in this country one, they're in the informal sector. And if you try and collect what it is that they earn, unfortunately, it doesn't meet that minimal standard. We survive on it because of the peculiar reasons that we have as a country. But, for instance, let me ask you a question. If you look at the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, what do you think they indicate as the wage that somebody in the middle class earns? Do you have an idea? You can look at it. My contention is that anybody who claims to be in the middle class in this country is one salary away from poverty. Because the day that job ends, you are in trouble. And you'll be thinking of how you are going to go back to your rural home. Job. And you're in the middle class. Middle class, by its definition, again universally, are people who, one, they tended to be in what you call the civil service, which was more or less like a permanent job. So for the duration of the time they worked, you're more or less guaranteed a certain lifestyle. That, in this country, has changed over time. And our population has risen. So the vast majority of people do not work for the government. They are in some sort of work that they do for themselves. So when you look at this thing collectively and we look at our numbers, these are things that must be addressed seriously. Just because people are able to survive, that has to do more with their ingenuity than what it is that you say has been done for them. Why do I say this? Because when you're in a country where our discussion about the total sum of resources that go to waste is as large as ours, then our problem is really big, because you can directly see that the moment you put a halt to that hemorrhaging of the resources and put it to the proper use, everything we're talking about will change. It's not difficult to see. So when you have a political process that sought to set these things right, and we're not pursuing it, we're not stopping the hemorrhaging, we're not ensuring that the things that we said we do is not being done, then you have to ask them, so what then are we doing? Yes, because these things are intended so that, or they are spoken of and agreed upon so that the citizenry can benefit. So if there is no incremental, he has a point when he talks about the incremental, but you have to see it. We have to see the incremental change in people's lives over time. It can't be something you just talk about. When you talk about affordable housing, you can see them. So it doesn't matter what you say, they exist. You can talk around as much as like, but they exist, I see it. We talk about something like SHA, and people complain and say it doesn't work, and say, oh, this is what happened, but they only paid a bit. But you're saying it's not working, you're actually confirming it works. It just doesn't work according to what you think it ought to do, but it works.
Or what we expect.
Yes, exactly, but it works. And then now this is where we say, can the government just take a lot of time to explain how this thing actually works and how it can work and what they're seeking to improve? A lofty idea, grand idea in theory, a wonderful thing. But for this thing to work fully, these things take time. Countries they take time. Countries that have what you call universal health care, you should look at the length of time it took for them to achieve it. It really takes time.
You know, I agree with the city because
I was on the floor, Okango.
Let me just finish.
I was on the floor, Okango. I just donated my time to city.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
10 seconds.
10 seconds. I might not even speak again. You know, we said Raila. I'm a student of Raila Odinga politics. He told us that we have to go to Canaan. And when Raila Odinga died, it was very unfortunate.
And now you're taking us to Singapore.
Today, we have realized that Canaan is a journey. It's actually a very far place. But we have to take a longer route so that we arrive there. And that's why we have said we have to go to Canaan through Singapore. If you look at all these infrastructure development, look at a case in place, SHA that is talking about. NHIF had 7 million registered. Today, SHA has 29. By next week, 21 million will be 30 million. If it is not working fully, it has challenges, I agree. But if it was not working fully, as Weke wants us to believe, why would you register yourself in an instrument that is not working? Number two, we know that we have challenges. We know it will take time. Okay. But give the government the benefit. Where they have progressed, say it as it is. But don't be negative because you are playing populist politics. The Linda Wananchi group are populist politicians. They want to play propaganda. Yeah. They want to woodwink Kenyans. They claim they are citizens auditors. They are not auditing anything citizenry. Right. What they are doing, they are telling us that they have to remove Ruto by all means. and I want to assure them.
But that's how you capture power,
Yes,
by removing the one
I
who's in
am
power.
telling them, you cannot remove Ruto by sloganeering. You
Okay,
cannot remove Ruto
Brian,
by must go.
the
You
floor
can
is
only
yours.
remove Ruto when you have plan,
Thank you.
agenda,
Yes.
and
Fred.
manifesto that Kenyans buy.
Fred.
If they don't have it, they don't have it, we will defeat
Fred.
these people by 10 a.m. in the morning.
Sawa,
I am
Fred.
telling you.
Fred,
I am telling you.
Bado tuko na dakika kama 3.
Mungala.
Yes.
Yes.
First, I want to agree with City. I like his thinking. And City, I read a report that was done last year by the Kenya Bankers Association. It said out of the middle class you're talking about, the people who have 1 million shillings in their account, the so-called middle class, they're less than 1,000. 1 million in your account, those people in this country, they're less than 1,000.
A country of 60 million people.
A country of 60 million people. Now, Okango cannot come here and tell us that SHA is working because guys who have enrolled are 30 million. You know these numbers that they peddle around. SHA working is about, are they paying hospitals? And the answer is no. The hospitals that are being paid are the ones that are not treating people. The genuine hospitals that are treating people are not being paid.
Actually, Weke, that is not true.
No, I mean, by the way,
Fred, please.
allow me to prosecute my case.
Watch amalize.
The minister is on record, not me, not Brian Weke. The minister is on record every time. Instead of telling us how SHA is doing in terms of touching the lives of the common man, he talks about corruption. This guy was done, Nini was performed 4 times. This hospital has no capacity to perform this. And those hospitals are the ones that are being paid. It is not me. It is the minister that said that. Now, but I want to come back to Okango.
Right.
Okango says that they want to work with like-minded parties. And out of all these parties, including the ones that we were with in Azimio, they've decided that the party that is like-minded
Starting with.
is UDA. Now, Okango, let me break it down to you. Even as you start with, the problem, ODM and UDA, they're worlds apart. Number one, we cannot have a party that you claim is like-minded. Like-minded is not giving passports to funny characters that we've seen. You've seen RSF guys, funny characters being issued with the passports. Kenyan passports, for crying out loud. Like-mindedness is not the kind of corruption that we are seeing in this country. Like-mindedness is not about the abductions we are seeing in this country. Like-mindedness is not the lack of rule of law that we are seeing in this country. ODM is about governance, is about rule of law, is about certain fundamental freedoms. Everything that these guys don't stand for. So if you're starting with a party that is like-minded, find the parties that traditionally have been with us.
Yeah.
And you know, Mungala, you have to ask this Okango, because that is the narrative they're telling our people in Nyanza. That this time around, we're not going to the opposition.
No,
just breathe in.
We must go in government.
I agree with, and I want to agree with you fully.
And we shall.
And I agree with you fully. But the opposition is where you are. Because where is this William Ruto getting votes from? Kisses are gone. Luyas
Okango,
are gone.
you know your mic is off.
Kambas are gone. Luos, 50% gone. So how are they going to make a government?
All right.
Explain to me like a 3-year-old.
Mungala,
Yes.
Mimi,
Don't take our people to opposition.
I agree with Weke.
Right.
We shall not take Kenyans, not only our people, to the opposition. Because in the opposition is where propaganda lies. In opposition is where misinformation lies and disinformation. That is where Linda Wananchi is.
Frederick,
We shall take our people and Kenyans
propaganda is in
to
politics.
government. And I agree that politics, we have played it long enough. Today, we are advancing to real issues of concern to the people. I'm telling Weke, when you say that we will not get votes because regions have moved,
Yes.
the only way to ascertain that is after 10th August 2027. That day is coming. Why is it that they believe they're the only ones who are preparing for election more than us? Why is it that they believe they're the only ones with the numbers? If they want, I want to dare them. Weke and the team, I want to dare you. Because you don't like ODM and you think it's a party that has been hijacked, exit ODM, form your party, come with ideas, plan, agenda. Let's compete and see who wins. If you do
Gentlemen.
that, I'll respect you. But otherwise,
Right.
all these are propaganda and Kenyans are wiser. Kuna upungufu ya wajinga humu nchini. And we are not going to buy propaganda from Linda Wananchi. Weke is the lead propagandist in that team, we know. And they are funded to say what they are saying. We will not allow you,
Fred,
my
you're also
people of
funded.
ODM. I want to ask you.
Fred,
I
you're
want
also
to ask
funded.
you.
You
I'm
can't
not
even use the
funded.
word also.
I'm not funded. I'm just
They are
speaking
being
as a
funded
party
from
member.
State
By
House.
who?
It is not also.
You're both being funded.
Us, we are not being funded.
You're both-
And we're asking Kenyans for money.
Gentlemen, have you ever heard of the English phrase airing your dirty linen in public?
Which is very good, by the way.
Funga hii kitu, bro.
He wears his dirty in public.
See you
Get the
tomorrow
solution.
morning, bright and early. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For availing yourselves. Mimi nitawaambia hivi. Mimi I belong to a group of Kenyans that think hapa kuna game inachezwa na ODM yote. Both Linda Ground na Linda Wananchi. Na Wananchi asipochunga anaweza kuwa fala
Remember
in
Batna.
2027.
Batna.
Eh?
Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Say so.
And remember Jodonga each.
Jodonga H.